CRT Matt here, and today I have another exciting video for you. It's an assembly video of the Plague for the game Firefight and Deadzone. In this video, you're going to see me put together the swarms, the little plague swarms, the 3A ghouls, and the 3Z zombies. And I'm going to show you in this video how they're assembled, give you some tips and tricks, the things that you might need when you're building and assembling their models. Now, the swarms are resin and the rest is plastic, so it should be you should be using a couple different glues, and we'll show you in the video. Let's get in the video.
So we're going to be building two different sprues. The first one here is the 3Z zombie sprue, and the next one is going to be the 3A ghouls sprue, and then we have a resin kit of the plague swarms. In both of these, you see that they're hard plastic. They'll go together with liquid thin cement from Tamiya real easily. And of course, you'll need some CA glue for the plague swarms here. And we'll take a look at those. There are multiple parts, several different parts. They do have the notch and slot system that Mantic had for their other plastics. And as you can see, there's many spots on the actual miniature itself or the base itself they only fit in one spot. So they're fairly easy to put together once you get all the pieces organized. Just take your doubles of what you have and set one for one and one for the other aside. Find out where they fit together, and they should look something along these lines like this. Pretty cool miniature. I really like it. It's going to paint up really nasty and and very plaguey. So the first thing to do for the 3Z zombies is cut out all the feet or the lower halves of the bodies. Then we're going to carry on and cut out all the torsos. Now you'll notice that there's a couple different torsos here. There's a female torso, there's a male torsos with body armor, and there's also a torso that has two pieces. And that torso with the two pieces has the hands connected to it. It's some rotten zombie. He's just kind of eaten himself. It's pretty cool. We're going to lay out the bases here. There's 5 bases. We're going to lay out all our pieces after cutting everything off the sprue. And there you saw the torsos and the different torsos, the female and this 2-part torso. So we're going to spread everything out and make sure we're keeping track of our upper bodies, our torsos with our lower bodies, because one of those bottom halves has what looks like a pair of pants on, and the other ones have body armor. So just be aware of that when you're matching up the torsos with the lower halves. And then you got some heads that are 2 pieces. It's just kind of a face with a little slot and a nub on the end of it, and they fit in there just perfectly, and you just got to glue it together. And then you want to get your arms together and match up your arms as best you can. There's also this one female body that has a weapon that's on the back of it. It's got a slot for it too. It's the only spot that it fits. Of course, you can model it and cut it off any way you feel like. We're going to start putting the 3Z zombie bottoms on the bases. Then we're going to move on to gluing the torsos in, keeping in mind to match up the lower halves with the top halves, with the body armor to body armor, and the lower part pants with the upper body, kind of the ragged body that's up top. And this is our 2-part miniature to upper torso that doesn't require to have arms put on. Then we're going to move on to the heads. I suggest you do these all first across the whole thing and then do the arms, and match up the arms as best you can too. I mean, this is the Plague. They could have one big left arm, one big right arm. It doesn't really matter, but I kind of like to match them up as best I can. And before you know it, you got tons of zombies, and they're all put together fairly easy, and they're pretty awesome. Now we're going to move on to the 3A ghouls. The 3A ghouls have a hellhound with them on their sprue. And we're going to start by cutting out the torsos off the sprue. Now, the lower halves did come separate in a bag, which is nice. They're already cut out. Then we're going to cut out all of our heads and organize them, which bodies and upper and lower halves we want to have them with. And you want to kind of match these up as you go. My best suggestion is cutting the lower half out and the upper half out and matching them up to where they fit nice and snug. We're going to cut the Hellhound out and the mortar that comes on the sprue, because you never know when you need a mortar. And that dog actually is 3 pieces. I did want to say he's 3 pieces. He's a head and 2 parts body. It fits together pretty easily, pretty easy to figure out. And as we cut all of our weapons out, here's the puppy. He's all put together. We're going to put him on a base because the Hellhound is a figure. It is a miniature in Deadzone and Firefight. So the first thing you want to do with the 3A ghouls, you want to glue down their lower halves to the base across all of them. And some of them have very small connection points, so you want to give it a little bit of time to dry. And then while we're letting that dry, we're going to put together our 3-piece mortar. It just sits there on the base with its tripod on the front. It's pretty easy to figure out. And then we're going to match up our lower half with our upper half of the guy with the cape, the general, or not the general necessarily, but the captain of the group that's fighting here. And then we're going to glue on all our heads after all of our torsos have been put on. And I do this in assembly line to allow the glue to kind of stick and dry for a period of time. That way I'm not accidentally knocking off the head because it doesn't have enough glue on it. So, but we're going to move on to the arms. And now I will tell you that there are 3 different weapon options on the sprue. Actually, I believe 4. There's a rifle, a grenade launcher, and they all go together the same. Now, there's only 2 arms that are meant to go for these 2-handed big weapons. I actually modeled and took one of the hands and cut the hand, and it worked perfectly and fit together for the left arm connection, because there's only 2 that you can that are on the actual sprue itself. Now, if you have multiple sprues, you won't have this problem. And we're going to carry on gluing all the arms on to each one of the models, and we'll get to the last one. And that last one, it's actually the connection points to the base were very small, so I left that one for last. And there you have it. There's all your 3A ghouls. And a little trick with the 2-handed big weapons: when you're gluing on both arms, put glue in all the slots and make sure you hold the shoulders as you line up the arm connection to the hand. But that's all I got. Ta-ta!